everyone, welcome back to the Vision podcast. Today I am joined by actress Miss Sophie Steele. How are you, Sophie?
Hi, I'm well. I'm doing good.
Good. So to kick things off, I always ask my guests to just give themselves a little introduction and to their background in the industry.
A background into the industry, a little introduction, a thing about me. Um, yeah, I guess I'm from Virginia. I mean, not I guess, I know. But I guess that's a good place to start, where you're from, your roots. Um, I'm from a very small town. It was like a big deal. It was big news when we got a McDonald's. So, very small. Um, and we didn't even have a drama program, so I didn't even like do anything like that. It wasn't really a thing. I was the star in my church's Christmas play. Like people talked about it for years. It was kind of a big deal. So from there, I was like, wow, that was like really fun, but still no opportunities, to like do acting or be involved in any way. And so it just became like a little like back burner thing I didn't really think was even a possibility. Because a lot of people don't really even leave our town, which not a bad thing. It's just, it's a good town, it's good people. So they're just like, I'm gonna go to college real quick, come back, be a gym teacher or a doctor, just like give back to the community they were raised in. So that was also a thing where I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll be like a lawyer and come back like my dad. And I don't know. I think yeah, there was probably like sparks along the way that would take way too long to go over. But I think really I just was on like the track to work in the government. And then COVID hit, and yeah, I think we as humans maybe we just get in patterns we don't even mean to get into, and we just wake up one day, and when you have time to actually self-reflect, because self-reflection is a thing you have to like sit down and do, right? It doesn't just happen to you. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is not, I don't think this is like what I want. I don't think this is what I'm liking. I'm having to be all serious all the time, and I have all these cool things, but I just, yeah, I'm not happy. So, yeah, I just packed all my stuff and moved to LA, and we've been here ever
Nice,
since.
nice.
Yeah.
So I've read that you were studying criminal psychology and criminal justice. What drew you to that first of all?
Um, I mean, I feel like that was the standard. I mean, what draws people to acting is like they see a cool Oscar speech or they see a cool show. We're just so impacted by the media, which is why it's cool. But yeah, I think I watched way too many Criminal Minds as a young child, like as an 8-year-old. Um, and my mom was really into like Law and Order, of course, too. So I watched that, and yeah, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna do that, and it was kind of over from there. And then there's like the pull of like being all cool, like an FBI agent. So that was definitely one of the goals too. But then I've always been fascinated. I still am. Like I'm such a nerd and I read like articles all the time. But I'm just fascinated by how our brains work and how they're connected to literally everything. So I wanted to also study psychology, and hopefully I really wanted to work in like rehabilitation, and how does like criminal psychology of the mind affect, and how can like that be used for like therapy and rehabilitation and stuff like that.
So you were doing that, and then, as we all know, the COVID pandemic hit. So what was going through your mind at that point when the pandemic hit about your like career objective?
I mean, it was going pretty good. Everything was like on track. I had done some really cool, prestigious internships. I'd gotten a couple interviews with some big letter agencies. I was actively being interviewed for one of them. Um, and so, like I said, I wasn't really thinking. I was just like, yep, next step, next step. I just was kind of like a little robot. And I was like, this is going good. Yep, success, next step. Um, and so there wasn't, I guess, like a before. I think it was just COVID hit. And then, of course, the government was one of the first things to shut down, right? So they were like, bye, go home until further notice. And at that point, it was horrible timing because I was just graduating. They were recruiting me out of college. So I was just graduating college. and I thought I was just going to move directly to DC. And then the world shut down, so I graduated college and was just kind of stuck in the town. So yeah, a lot of that was a lot of self-reflection, and then it's you can't go anywhere. You're literally just stuck in your house ordering takeout. So
Yeah.
yeah, lots of thinking to be done.
Nice. So if you think when you moved to LA, did you take anything in your head or in your mannerisms from that small town with you? Do you think you still have those small town like thought processes in LA
I
now?
hope so. I mean, I say it in a lot of my meetings or like when I'm talking to, yeah, reps and casting of like, I'm holding on to they have this like earnestness where, and some people will say it's the Southern hospitality and it's fake, which it can be, right? There's like gonna be fake people everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think it's harder in a small town where everyone knows you and they know who you are. So accountability, I think, is more of a thing. It's harder to be a bad person because everyone's going to talk about it. Which pros and cons of everything, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about that all day long. Um, but yeah, I think there's just like an earnestness of like people do what they're going to say they do. They mean what they say. You know if they hate you. You'll know it right there, but at least you know it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always say that I'm holding on to that Appalachian earnestness for dear life, trying to stay genuine and true, and holding on to the which so hard in LA, but like the simplistic way of living. And I don't think, I think just because something's different doesn't mean it's better or worse. Um, and the simplistic way of living can be very fulfilling and very happiness inducing, of just like, I get up and there's just the woods around me, and I do my job every day, and then I go home to my family and I eat dinner. And it's just, it's a very like quiet wavelength life that I sometimes I'm like, dang. And when I go home, it's nice because it's like, wow, there's nothing. My mind is so quiet out here. It's like a little retreat now I get to take.
Nice. So the move to Los Angeles, how did that feel when you first moved out there to Los Angeles?
Ooh, well, don't recommend this. I tell everyone if they ask, I feel like sometimes I'll get like a call or an email of like, oh, they're thinking about being an actor, and I'm like, great, stay where you are. Um, just so yeah, I didn't know anyone. I had never been to California. I didn't know anyone. Didn't have a job. Didn't have an apartment. I don't know what happened. I think it's just you have. I guess you have a mission. And I figured it out. But I look back on it and it's like when you get like what's that called? Like retrospect scared. I'm like, what was going on? And why my fun fact, my parents came with me actually. They were like, "Oh, let's make it like a road trip," which we were talking about the other day is one of our like best memories of like we all became like besties cuz you're packed in a four-door, three people, there's stuff on the roof, there's a bike in the back. My mom is like you can barely see her in the boxes. So that was nice that they came with me. And yeah, because I think they stayed for like maybe 4 days. But those 4 days were like literally, we were touring apartments and like job interviewing. And I don't know, I felt like a college kid again in a good way because they were like there, like helping me, of like, oh, how'd that interview go? So that was nice. And then they left and I still didn't have a job or anything, but figured it out.
So was it when did you start the acting journey then in LA?
I mean, it was almost immediate. I also don't recommend this. I think in a good way, I knew nothing. So I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't know how ignorant I was acting. But I got into this like random, I don't even know what it was called, arts showcase where you like basically got to audition for it, and then if you got in you got to like perform in LA for a bunch of agents and managers and get rep. And so I timed my move with that. I was like, oh, I got into the showcase. I've been wanting to do this, and it's a sign. I'll just move to LA. And I'm gonna get rep at this showcase and obviously be immediately famous, and then it'll be fine. Um, so I was counting on at that showcase, I kept being like, yeah, I live here in LA. I live here in LA. So I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Um, no one signed me. Surprise, surprise. Because yeah, they were like, this girl doesn't even have a resume. She's never acted in her life. But thank goodness I met my coach and mentor now, Abby Cobb, and she really took me under her wing. Thank goodness. I think she was like, oh no, this girl needs help. And so I think from it was yeah almost immediate where she was like, okay, you have to get headshots. That's here's what that is, and
Mhm.
let's learn how to like do a tape and do an audition. And yeah, and I think I just got really lucky and I met good people that taught me the ropes.
So in that actors showcase, when unfortunately you didn't get signed, did you think, "Oh, I've made a mistake"?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I did. I also yeah, I did what everyone else also tells you not to do of like, what is that, big fish, little pond. Where I was just like, I'm pretty cool and like pretty and funny, and I can like zip zap zop in front of a camera, whatever. Like I got this in the bag. And I had no idea, and I think that's the cool part of being a creative is you just like with other creatives you're like, oh, you like get it, because there's all those like memes and Instagram reels and all
Hmm.
that stuff about like people when they go home and their aunts and uncles like, well, why aren't you working yet? And just like it's just a different world that people don't understand. So I think
Yeah.
that was me trying. I was having to understand that world. But initially, yes, when no one would sign me, I was kind of like, uh oh. Well, Well, what do I do now? So that was definitely a learning curve. Yeah.
Hmm. So when did you get into the vertical space? When did that come about?
That was really recently, I feel like, honestly. I had heard about it from like when they first started happening. I didn't know like what they were. I thought they were just I mean kind of what they are. I thought they were just like TikTok TV. And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool, but I want to be like on a TV show on like Amazon Prime." Who doesn't? Like looking back, it's so silly. But I was just like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know if I thought it was like influencer, like when influencers make YouTube stuff. So I thought it was like that, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's like the realm I want to get into and like make my
Hmm.
brand. So that's initially why I stayed away from it. And then I think I was just submitting to a bunch of stuff because I did my first one before I had rep, and I was like this random mean cousin. And so I just thought I was going on to like a cute little set. I had no idea what it was for. And then I think like a lot of actors will tell the same story where they get on set and then it's kind of like, wait a second. And you're looking at the camera.
Hmm.
And I was like, what is going on? And then oh, obviously how they have to frame us of like getting so close. I'm like, why are we standing so close? What is going on? And just the fast-paced nature of it. I was like, whoa, whoa. I'd been on a couple of sets before that, and I was just like, this is insane. So I was like, I think we're filming like a soap opera, but a soap opera for your phone? Yeah, and then after that, they really blew up and got big, and then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yes, and getting rep. And then yeah, the I think the one of the other I can't remember the other ones I was in, but the next like big one I remember was the candy jar one. And by then I had so many friends and I like knew what it was by then. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So the candy jar one was next door, I believe.
No, the first one actually was Falling for My Bodyguard.
Ah, right. And then you did next door for
And
candy
then I did
jar,
next door.
which
Yes.
I've had Justin on this podcast, which
I
was
know I saw
really
that. That's
fun.
so fun. I love Justin.
You think there was something that you had him saved in your phone, or he had you saved in his phone with a name?
Oh, he had me saved as the wrong name for like the entire time we were shooting.
Yeah, he told that story on
It's
the
fine.
podcast.
He's a star. He doesn't have to remember a name. It's whatever. He felt so
Um,
bad though. It was so funny.
so what drew you to Next Door, and what drew you to Hadley?
Um, I mean, honestly, just reading the script. Um, I got the sides, and from the sides already, I want to say my audition was the when we're in the bedroom and he's talking about how humiliating it was, and there's that line. I was just like, wow, how this is so silly, but like that's so funny. Like, gotta kiss a lot of frogs to find the gays. And I was like, wait, I like want to be this girl. I want to say that line. Um, so from the audition, and then after that, getting the script and being like, this is the cutest little story. Like this is everything I grew up on. Of like, it's 10 things I hate about you. It's the like never been kissed. It has all those like high school like vibes that I loved watching. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. I am getting to be in one.
How would you describe Hadley? Because I would describe her as the gay man's best friend. That's what that's that's what you
Yeah,
I describe her as, really, and like fun, and we'll take it. We'll not take any rubbish. We'll just tell it how it
for sure.
is.
Exactly. No, exactly that. Yes. And it's been so cool just to like the following response from it of just like the gay community reaching out to me being like, I wish I would have had a friend like her in high school. So I think that's been really cool to like either the younger generation getting to see like, hey, this is possible and this is a friend that you yourself deserve right now in high school. Or like in retrospect, being like, oh, that's like a little, hopefully like a little healing moment of like, I didn't have a Hadley, but like that was possible, and there are people out there now that exist like her.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely gay men's best friend. Like she's just, I feel like I don't know, am I allowed to say the C word? Like she's so cunty. Like I feel like that's why she like it's like she's ready. She's on it. She's
Yeah.
like, I'll slap people for you, whatever. Take no rubbish. Exactly.
Yeah. So the story involves is secrecy from Justin's character, romance, an image from both characters and all the characters. What key themes stood out to you during that time filming it?
Um, I mean, I agree. I think it's the the age old thing that will never get tired because it's such a real thing that every single queer person has to struggle with of the weirdness that like in our culture we have to come out because everyone's assumed still to be straight. So you have to have this weird announcement at some point in your life, like, "Hey, everybody, just so you know," and that's such a weird concept in itself. And so, of course, it's difficult and hard for them to do. So I think yes, the undercurrents of just both of them accepting themselves at different points on that spectrum, where you have Kith that's like pretty accepted, but also still at the point of not being able to stand up for himself within his identity. And then River, of like you're saying, of like struggling with all of what are people going to think, what are people going to say. And I think a lot of people struggling with caring so much about like their friends and family and not wanting to like negatively impact their life, which is so heartbreaking. I think that's I love that that was Rivers like backstory of like he's scared, yes, but he's also scared like for his mom. You know, like
Mhm.
he doesn't want people to view his mom differently, which is so heartbreaking and real. So I loved that part.
Nice. So when you build a character, do you look at instinct research, or do you bring personal experience sometimes into some of your characters that you've played?
Mm. I think it's like a hybrid of that. I try to bring myself to every role that I do because I think that's how you find the human in them. And especially like in the moment while the camera's rolling, I want to be like as myself with the homework I've done as I can be because that's where like the magic happens and the little eyebrow twitches and lip purses. But for my homework before that, I don't ever want to like I try not to put like personally, my own opinions or like myself like into the character. I approach it almost from like a, a circle the other way around of like, okay, let me try to understand this character. And as I see them, let me try to like build it and then find myself within it of like, oh, wait, I relate to that. And so I know what that feels like. And I guess then just morph us together.
So let's talk about community in the vertical space, because I've talked to many vertical actors and some actresses as well. So would you say that community is a special community to be a part of?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, I think the creative community is a special one to be a part of. I feel like it's the vertical sets, if you're hopefully on good ones where people are caring and take care of you. It's just like any other set where they're like, wow, this is like, I relate it to summer camp. You get really close to a lot of people really fast and you never want it to end. And then when it does, you're really sad. So yeah, it was definitely this set specifically was like I was like, oh, I've just made four besties immediately. It's
Hmm.
wonderful. Um, and then yeah, all the crew was great too. So I did. I just felt like I was at camp that I never
Hmm.
wanted to end.
So when you moved to LA, you did say that you moved on your own. You moved with your parents, like they came for a holiday or stuff like that, but you were on your own. How did you
Hmm.
begin to build those friendships? Was it on sets? Was it like in an actor's showcase, that sort of places?
I think it was everywhere. I think it's um not hard to at least meet people in LA for sure.
Mhm.
There's not a shortage of people. Um, but yeah, I think it was just a culmination of slowly through classes and in LA, definitely through a class. We just became fast friends, and she's still my best friend.
Mhm.
Um, and then yes, on sets, I'll just meet like great people, um, like uh, Justin and Nick and yeah, you just find yourself keeping in contact with them. And then you have the wonderful thing, this has only happened like twice, but where you get to see them on set again, where you both happen to like work another job, and that's the best thing ever. Um, and then also through yeah, class set, and then just through the creative space of creating my own stuff and getting to like build a team from that and meet really cool creatives in LA. Yeah.
So you have done writing in the past as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has that influenced the way you understand acting, dialogue, and structure?
Mm. Well, I wouldn't say I'm like a professional actor by any means. I think I'm the LA writer where I I think about like a year in. I'm pretty impatient, and I was like, "Where are the roles? Where's my thing? I need to be acting every single day." Ah, so I think I just got super antsy, and like a lot of actors I know, they just started, well, fine, if I don't have the stories out here that I want to tell or the roles that I want to be in, or there's just not what I feel like is coming to me right now, I'll just make it myself. I'll just make a role for myself or write something that I would want to be in. So I think that's where that came from, and it was a lot of like trial and error of because once again I had to learn from scratch of not even knowing how a script's formatted or anything like that. So I have a lot of admiration for writers now because it's also in it's like editing. It's such a thing because unless you're in like a writer's room, you're just sitting in front of your computer doing the thing.
Yeah.
No feedback, no like, oh, that was a great job. Oh, I felt that chemistry. You don't have any of that yet. So a different part of the creative process, a harder part for me because I have a hard time sitting still and really, focusing. But yeah, it's helped with yeah, I think the flow of like understanding of like, okay, here the beginning is really where you're trying to make the audience know the character and fall in love with the character like as fast as you can. So I think for my acting, it's like changed that of like, okay, let me be mindful of like where this is in the script, of if this is my first part, like this is my introduction. I really got to try to make it as clear as I can, hopefully with my prep work of like, this is who this character is, this is their motivations, here's the vibe. There you go.
Nice. What would your dream creative project look like?
Oh my God. I don't know how to pick just one. I mean, I'd love, I'm obsessed with, for obvious reasons, Rachel Sennett and Benito Skinner right now, just because they're role models of like they've done exactly what I want to do. Of they've created something, they've written it themselves, they've put themselves into it, and now it's like a huge, amazing thing. So I'd love to be involved. That would be a dream of anything involved with them. For myself, I would love to do. I have a like camp comedy I'm writing, which I think is hilarious, obviously, and it's wonderful. So the dream would be, I tell everyone like my long-term dream would be to have that as a TV show that I star in, and also that I get to film in Virginia,
Mhm.
because I think that would be really cool to like bring production and like money and revenue back home, like a full circle moment
Yeah,
almost. I think
nice.
that would be really cool.
Nice. So you've also got a podcast with your best friend, is it?
Yes, my bestie girl.
How did that come about for you? Was it just a
That that was a mix of, we'd always kind of joked about it since college. So this my friend Ansley, I've been best friends with her literally, we say, since birth, because our moms were friends and got pregnant with us together. So good thing we were friends because they were together all the time.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, we've stayed friends. We were friends in college. We roomed together in college, after college, and then I moved away. But now she lives in Kosovo, so she really got back at me. She lives so far
yeah.
away. Um, but yeah, so we always joked about it in college, and we were always like, "Oh, we need to do that," but just never did. And then I think it was a mix of me being like, "Hey, I really miss you," and like our monthly phone calls were really good, but like I can feel us drifting, just because that's what happens when
Yeah.
you're so far away and time zones. So I was like, I really don't want that to happen with us. And I want you to know, like, I'm committed to like this friendship for life. I want to continue building it, continue growing. And once again, I'm really impatient. I was just like, I think it was just at a more creatively dead space that I was in, where I was like, I don't feel like I'm booking anything. Like I'm writer's blocking. Like nothing's really moving forward, and so I get very antsy. Maybe that's why I was good for the government. I'm very like results oriented. I'm like, where's this? Where's the step? Blah blah blah. So I was just like, I'm going crazy. Like I need to be creative somehow. I can't paint. Like I'm dying here.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I think it could be a fun little creative outlet for us. Of like, I told her, I was like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you just focus on me and you talking. That'll be the fun part for you. And then I'll get to like practice my editing skills, maybe, I don't know, digital marketing and like what that's like. Um, but mainly it's just, yeah, it's just been fun. Like, I think the creative part for me, yeah, has been like the editing and making the cool reels, but mostly it's just been like really fun to learn things still about someone I've known my whole life, where it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know that about you.
So how would you describe your podcast? Is it just two friends chatting? Would you say that's the main crux of the um, podcast?
So I'd say we're chitting and chatting most of the time. We joke that it's an advice podcast because we are experts in all realms of parenting, since we have no kids, marriage since we're not married, and we just give people free advice on how to like do things the best. So we have like episodes of like how to get married right, how to parent your kids. So I'd say definitely like comedy as well, like very dry comedy. Um, but yeah, I think of just building a community of like friendship, and hopefully our listeners um seeing that two very different people that have grown up into very different people are still friends, and especially in this hellscape we live in, that it is possible to be friends with someone different than you, and also I think important to have a dialogue on things that you don't know about, don't understand, and don't agree with, because if you're just talking with people that say the same thing back to you, what are you learning? What are you establishing? How are you growing? You know?
You don't have those debates, do you? If you don't
Yeah. Got to grow the
talk.
mind, grow the
Yes,
opinion,
definitely,
always on
definitely.
the growth.
What's your most proud when you look back at your time moving to LA? What are you most proud of when you first moved to LA?
I'm proud that I haven't had to live out of my car yet. Um, I'm proud that I think I have changed for sure, because that's just like how life works. But hopefully, I mean, I look back at myself and I don't think I am like waking up and like, oh, who am I? I don't even know who I am anymore. I've lost my values. I've lost like why I came out here. Um, so I'm glad I've hopefully stayed mainly like the same person, true to myself. Um, and I told my parents this, which I will say has not always been true in practice. Of sometimes it is hard to not get caught up in the rat race hamster wheel where I'm like, I'm not doing anything, and like all I want to do is book a freaking movie and win an Oscar. But when I get in those moods, it's important to go back. I told my parents when I moved out here, I said, you know what? I'm already successful. I already have a family that loves me. I already have friends that love me. I have lived a good life in that if I died right now, I feel like I've lived a good life. Um, so everything else that I do out here is just extra. It's just cherry on top of the cake. Um, like I said, do I have that in practice every single day? No, but it's a good reminder to be like, hey, wait a minute, when I'm spiraling of like, you're already successful. Like you're already good. You're already chilling in life.
Mhm.
Everything else is just extra.
Are there any creative risks that you would like to take in the future?
Ooh, a creative risk. I think that's one of them coming up of as I write more and as we I have a creative writing partner as we develop our pilot that we're writing, and like moving into pitch land and emailing, yeah, producers to read the script. I think that's a very I feel like I'm that little girl all over again, like moving and not even knowing what a slate shot is or how to audition.
Mhm.
So I think that's, yeah, maybe not a risk. I guess a risk to like email people, and who knows if the producer of Amazon reads this and like, wow, blacklist them, they suck. So I guess a risk there, but yeah, more of just moving into a lot of unknown of like, okay,
Mhm.
how do we even pitch this? How do we get meetings? What does it look like to really try to like sell yourself?
Before we go on to my two signature segments that I have for every episode of this podcast, what advice would you give someone watching this who might be at a crossroads in their life and they want to make a big step into like into changing their lives?
Ooh, changing their lives. Mm, I I joke with my friends that I'm like the worst person for advice because I'm the mean friend. Like I tell my friends if they come to me for like boy advice, I'm like, do you really want to hear it? Because I'm just gonna be like, well, he's a loser, leave. I'm very like I just like I don't know what is that. I'm a little abrasive sometimes. So I would say with love. especially if you're going into the creative field. Actually, one of my acting teachers said this once. He said, if you can find anything else to do that will make you happy, do it. And I agree with that because it is such a mentally draining. You're constantly questioning yourself. There's very little like intrinsic or extrinsic reward through it. It's just years and years of like, wow, I am. It's such a weird career path because I feel like a lot of career paths you can like achieve your goals that you set, they're achievable, whereas I could set the goal for myself to win an
Hmm.
Oscar and do everything right on paper to win that Oscar, but never really win it or never even get the movie that would be in it, you know? So I feel like that's it's such a weird career. So I feel like, yes, having to, if you can find anything else that will make you happy, I think you should do it because you don't want to get down the road in this career 10 years later and be like, wow, I've accomplished nothing. My life is not, I should have done that. So I'd say take a really hard look at yourself, and here's the tough love of what are your priorities? Like what do you see yourself making yourself happy? And if it's money, if you really are honest with yourself and say, yeah, I think I'd be happy if I had a big house and I didn't have to worry anymore and all that, this is not the career for you. Or, oh, I think I'd be really happy if like I could make my parents proud and I got promotions and people like talked about me with respect because I have achieved cool goals and I'm really smart, then this is not the career for you, you know? So I think that would be the first step, I'd say, before anything else. There's a whole long thing of steps to go, but I feel like just really taking a hard look at yourself and saying, is this really, really what I want to do? Am I putting like a timeline on it? Am I
Hmm.
saying, oh, if I don't achieve something in 3 years, in 5 years, do you get real intrinsic happiness just through writing a little script or doing a widow audition? Is that really where you're happy? Then I would say, okay.
Nice. So let's go on to our two final segments. The first one is seeing who you love to watch, who inspires you in the world of entertainment, and that is who are your visions?
Visions.
So, who do you love watching on TV, movies? Is there an actor, an actress? What else do you like watching? Who else inspires you in this creative industry from the world of TV and movies?
mm, mm. So many, too many. Um, they forever are Emma Stone. She was one of like talk about like movies you just grew up on, Easy A. And so I think, and I just love like her career and what she's done with it, of like how she's like completely molded into different things and
Mhm.
like shown us that she can do the comedy, the artsy, the drama. I think she can do no wrong. I think she's great. Um, I also frequently get compared to, I don't know if I agree with it, is Aubrey Plaza. And I do love
Okay.
her. I think she's hilarious. I think she's dry and witty and like she's so funny. So if I grew up to be her, I would not mind it. I would not be mad at that. And I think everything she does is great. Um, and then I've always been a big fan of Robert Pattinson. I love him. I think
Mhm.
he's the same as Emma Stone to me, where I think he's just built a wonderful career of how he's demonstrated he can do everything, anything, and he can do no wrong. I'm a Patterson stan.
Nice.
Um, and then for TV, I would just say the shows I've watched recently. This one's a wild card, but stay with me. White Lotus season, I think, yeah, season three. I did not expect this. I was just watching it as like a throwaway show while I was cooking. But then I like found myself like sitting down to really start watching it. Specifically the women friend dynamic. And I should know the actresses' names, but I don't. But everyone knows the three women friends in White Lotus, I think are were so brilliant. And I think that's why TV and movies are so powerful because they impact everyone. They impact
Hmm.
everyone everywhere. Like if you have access to a TV, you can learn, you can see things, and I think that's why stories like Next Door are so important because you see people like you on TV, or you see people that are going through things. I could respond to that, or like, oh, they weren't beaten down, so I don't have to be beaten down.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know, I think they just like in a beautiful way talked about women friendship and how it can be hard and difficult but also really beautiful and touching, and I loved their performances. Yeah.
Nice.
E-
Music artist that is constantly on replay for you.
oh, that one's easy. John Bellion and Lily, Is That You? Two very opposite sides of the spectrum.
Can you describe your time in the vertical drama space in one word or a phrase?
Ooh, ooh. um Impactful.
Nice. I love that one. Um, is there a book or an author that you love reading or you always go back to whenever you want to read?
uh yes. Well, yes and no. I would say that I've been reading a lot of good books lately that I've really liked. I just read the Red Rising series, which I really liked. I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl series, which I really liked. As far as like a specific author, I don't know. I would always say, I mean, I grew up like watching Tolkien, but I haven't read him, so I feel like that's
Hmm.
unfair of me to say. And I actually from the what I have read, I don't know if I would actually like his writing style. Taking a whole chapter to describe a door, not for me. But I actually, surprising wild card too. I liked C.S. Lewis. I grew up reading him,
Hmm.
and specifically the Chronicles of Narnia. I
Yeah,
books and good writing. And I loved the Inkheart series. I read that every year.
nice.
And Mark Twain. Mark Twain is such a dry type, like, love him. He's funny. I love Mark Twain.
Okay, and our final segment is this or that.
Love. Love.
So I so I will give you two options and you have to choose which one best describes you.
Okay.
Let's go. First of all, Netflix or YouTube?
Oh, Netflix. For sure. Wait, are you gonna answer?
I say Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Yeah. Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Ooh, no. Um, it's always it's always a hot coffee in the morning, always, no matter what.
Okay. Mine's hot coffee all the way.
All the way. Okay, I respect that.
Text message or phone call?
Oh, don't call me. Don't call me unless it's if you're calling me, it's an emergency. If you're calling me,
Okay.
something's very wrong, and I have to mentally like I see a phone call, I'm like, oh, mental prepare. Don't do that. No.
I'm the same. Don't like
Yeah.
talking on the phone.
No.
City or countryside?
Oh, am I allowed to say countryside? I mean, I live in LA. Oof. But I think yeah, those are the roots. There's nothing like
Hmm.
crickets, zero sound, running water. I grew up on a creek, so yeah, just no
Yeah.
human sounds to be found.
Yeah, that's what I like about the countryside. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Road trip or direct flight?
Ooh, ooh. I think road trip with the right people, right?
Hmm.
Road trip with the right people, and like if road trip, I don't know how to say this, if road trip is the vibe, like if we're trying to get to like a wedding, direct flight, if there's like a time. But if it's like, oh, we should go to the Grand Canyon, like let's drive.
Hmm. Nice. Superpower, invisibility or super strength?
Ooh, 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 ooh. Mm. I think I don't want to be known for being a superhero, and I think with super strength, the only way, like I'd have to like show that in public. So
Hmm.
I think I would pick Visibility.
Nice. I would pick invisibility as well.
I would sneak into all the casting directors' offices and just like shove my headshot under their papers.
Spa day or adventure day?
Ooh, that's also hard because it depends on my mood. I'm very based on like moods. Like I'll wear
Hmm.
all black one day, all pink the other. If I've had a hard week, hell yeah, spa day. But like if I feel like I've done nothing and like I've just been working at my computer, then like yeah, we're taking an adventure for sure.
Nice. Karaoke night or quiz night?
I hate karaoke and I don't think I've ever done it. Surprise wild card. I don't like performing in that way. I don't like singing. I don't think you could pay me to do karaoke. So I guess we're done. We're doing.
Quiz night.
What about you? Are you a singer? I can tell.
No, 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 no. Never, never. Quiz night all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Night in or night out?
Night in. Night in so
Hmm.
hard. I'm actually like I say I'm a very outgoing introvert. I can talk to people, I can make it happen, but like when it's past 5, we're done. It's
Nice,
me time.
nice. Alone time or time with friends and family?
I would say time with friends and family just because I don't get to see them.
Mm,
So any time spent with them is like very, I hold on too tightly.
yeah, nice. Well, Sophie, that is all of this or that. And that is the
Wow.
end of our time together on the podcast.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. And I thank you for joining me. It's been brilliant. It's been a nice and a great conversation.
A nice little chit chat.
Yes, been brilliant. Thank you very much, Sophie.
Of course.